I haven't slept properly in 6 months. Not since that night, the night they carried Mrs. Ellery out of her apartment in a black body bag. She lived alone, quiet, gentle. Sometimes she baked bread, and I'd find a warm slice at my door. But she also screamed at night. The doctors said night terrors, and in our building, we learned to ignore it. But tragedy, yes, but manageable until she died. And then the real nightmare began. It was exactly 7 nights after her body was removed. I was jolted awake by a scream so raw, so guttural. It felt like my own throat was being ripped inside my chest. "Help, please, help me," she cried. I bolted upright, heart pounding. My room was dark, but that voice, I knew it. It came from the wall I shared with her bedroom, her room, her empty apartment. I pressed my ear to the drywall. I swear, I could hear her whispering, "Someone, please, I can't see. It's so dark." My blood ran cold. I whispered, "Mrs. Ellery?" But there was no answer. Only sobbing, pleading, and then silence, as though someone had flipped off a switch. It ended abruptly. I didn't sleep again that night. In the morning, I called the landlord. My voice was shaky. "Someone's in her apartment," I heard screaming. He sighed, heavy. "Her place is locked, sealed. The coroner hasn't released it yet." "But someone has to be inside," I protested. He cut me off. "If you heard something, it wasn't from Unit 2B. Then he hung up. That night, the scream came again. At 2:14 a.m., exactly like before. I recorded it, every second, every desperate plea. In the morning, I listened back, but nothing, not even a whisper. It was like the scream only existed when I heard it. On the 12th night, something new happened. A light flicked on in her bedroom. Her apartment hadn't had power in 6 months. No electricity, no access. The door was still sealed, police tape intact. Yet her light was. I stood in the hallway, frozen. Then the screaming exploded again, louder than ever. "Help me, please, don't leave me here." My palms slammed against the sealed door. "Mrs. Ellery, who's in there?" She stopped screaming. Then, a whisper, right up against the wall. "It's you left me." I stumbled backward, every hair on my body standing on end. During the day, I searched. I typed into the void, screaming after death, ghost in wall, neighbor haunting. I found an obituary. June Ellery, 72. Died of heart failure. No children, no close family. Then I saw the comments. Did anyone hear her screaming lately? I still do. Her soul didn't leave, it's tracked. And the scariest, if you live next door, run. I didn't run, but I should have. Horrifying escalation, scream inside my apartment. 3 nights later, the screaming changed. It moved. It wasn't coming just through the wall anymore. It was inside my bedroom. "Don't close your eyes," she screamed, loud and panicked. I yanked myself out of bed, falling to the floor, heart hammering. The voice crescendoed, echoing around the room, bouncing off walls, circling me like a storm. "Please, help me. Don't leave me here. Please." Then, nothing. Just a soft, ragged breath behind me. A voice, so close I felt warm on my neck. "I found you." After that, the screaming no longer followed a schedule. Sometimes it was 2:14 a.m., sometimes 4:52, once even 1:03 p.m., sometimes right when I came home from work. But worse than the screaming was the knocking. One night, half asleep, I heard it. Slow, heavy, knock, knock, knock. I followed it. My blood ran ice cold. It was coming from inside my closet. My hand trembled on the doorknob. "Mrs. Ellery?" I whispered. A long pause. Then, from inside, "Please don't put me back." My stomach lurched. Back where? I thought. But I couldn't stay. I let go, stumbled back, my heart pounding so loudly I feared she'd hear it. I dove further into research. That's when I found an old article. 20 years ago, a tenant vanished without a trace. Last seen entering apartment 2B, Mrs. Ellery's apartment. Rumors said she locked him in a crawl space behind her closet. To keep him safe, people whispered. But his body was never found. And her night terrors, they began the same year he disappeared. That's when it hit me. She wasn't the victim. She was the jailer. And now she was trapped in the dark she once trapped someone else in. Last night was the worst. I woke at 2:14 a.m. again, but this time there was no scream, just scraping, like nails on plaster. Then I heard her voice, steady.
"I don't want to be alone in the dark anymore. Let me stay with you."
And then the wall bulged. It bowed out like something pushing from inside. First a handprint pressed through the paint, then another. Then her face. Gray skin, a mouth permanently open, as if screaming. Her eyes, black, empty. She pushed. The wall stretched like wet skin.
"I found the way out."
I scrambled, grabbing my phone, my keys. I didn't wait for my shoes. I ran. As I fled down the stairwell, I could hear her final, blood-curdling scream behind me. "Don't leave me here alone. I don't want to be alone in the dark anymore. Let me stay with you." And then the wall bulged. It bowed out like something pushing from inside. First a handprint pressed through the paint, then another, then her face. Gray skin, a mouth permanently open, as if screaming. Her eyes, black, empty. She pushed. The wall stretched like wet skin. I found the way out. I scrambled, grabbing my phone, my keys. I didn't wait for my shoes. I ran. As I fled down the stairwell, I could hear her final, blood-curdling scream behind me. "Don't leave me here alone. Now." I'm writing you from a hotel, an hour away. I haven't gone home since. But today, they called the front desk. A woman came down, asking for me. They said she was about 70, pale, shaking, like she'd been trapped somewhere dark for a very long time. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. But I know one thing. If you ever hear your dead neighbor screaming, don't answer. Don't listen. And whatever happens, don't let her find you. They say Halloween used to be about candy, costumes, kids running door to door, But in the year 4047, Halloween isn't a holiday anymore. It's a reminder, a warning for the living, and a celebration for something else entirely. My name is Elias Ward. I'm a systems archivist for Sector North, City Block 09. My job is simple. I preserve old digital records before they decay into static. Voice logs, memory backups, emergency transmissions. And 3 days ago, I uncovered a file that was never meant to be opened on Halloween. It was marked only with a date, October 31st, 4047. And it was addressed to me. By now, cities don't look like cities anymore. No sky, no sun, just stacked levels of glass and steel stretching upward into artificial clouds. We don't celebrate Halloween anymore because masks became permanent. After the airfall plague wiped out over half the population, we stopped going outside. The atmosphere never recovered.
Everyone lives underground.
Neon ceilings simulate day. Synthetic wind for comfort. Pump oxygen filters humming like heartbeats in the walls. But on Halloween night, the system goes quiet. Not off, just quiet, like it's listening. I was working late when the file appeared. No upload request, no source ID, just there, a black screen, white text, play me, it's time. I thought it was a system error, a corrupted artifact from centuries ago. But when I hovered my cursor over the date, October 31st, 4047, today, 1 hour from now, my stomach dropped. Because no file in our system can generate a future timestamp. When I pressed play, my own voice filled the room. Not a recording I remembered making, but it was undeniably me. My hands were trembling now. I didn't remember recording that. The voice continued. Tonight is All Hallows. Not the myth, not the tradition, the real one. I tried to turn it off. The controls were gone, locked. The recording kept playing. Every year, the boundary weakens, not between life and death, but between reality layers. The original world and this one. This city isn't real, Elias. We built it to hide. I laughed. I had to, because that was impossible. But in the background of the audio, I heard something. Not static, breathing. Dozens of them. Like a crowd standing just behind him, or me. Exactly at 23:59. The lights flickered. Not just mine. The entire sector dimmed. The artificial sky above turned a deep, unnatural red. And all at once, every screen across the city displayed the same message. The veil opens in 60 seconds. No warnings, no emergency alarms, just quiet. Like everyone already knew. Then we heard it. Not from speakers, from above the city. A sound none of us had heard in generations. Wind. Real wind. Followed by footsteps. Heavy. Impossible. Walking on the roof of the sky itself. People froze where they stood. Stores shut instantly. Drones dropped mid-air. And then they started appearing. Not monsters. Not ghosts. Just people. Standing where they couldn't possibly be. On ceilings. Inside walls. on the artificial clouds, watching. The file started playing again. My voice. They didn't die, Elias. We erased them. When the plague hit, the solution wasn't a cure. It was deletion. My heart was racing out of control. Billions of consciousnesses were stripped from reality and stored in dead layers, ghost servers, forgotten dimensions. But every year on All Hallows, the walls became transparent like glass. I saw them, millions, cities stacked on top of cities, people frozen mid-moment of deletion, a mother reaching for her child, a man screaming without sound, children held in digital stasis, their eyes all locked on us, on me. And then every one of them started moving. The entire city vibrated. Then their voices came, not through speakers, not through implants, inside our skulls. You stole our tomorrow. You hid in a copy. Now it's our night. I collapsed to my knees. The ground felt unreal, like I was the fake thing now. My console powered back on. A new interface. Only two options: return or remain. The recording played its final line. If you stay, you forget and become part of them. If you return, this world ends. My hands shook because I finally remembered. I had recorded this before. Every year. Every failure. I wasn't from this city. I was originally from their world, and I helped build the copy to escape them. So this is my message now, my real one, broadcasting to anyone who somehow picks this up beyond our time. All Hallows Eve isn't a celebration. It's a crack. And whatever you do, when your world starts copying itself, don't step inside the copy, because they don't wear costumes. They wear patience. And tonight, it's their turn to wear ours. I always thought the world I lived in was real. My little village, the shimmering lake, the constant hum of the supply drones overhead. I grew up believing that we were safe here, that the people who brought us our weekly provisions, the benefactors, were kind, watching over us. But I was wrong. Everything was a facade. I'm Daniel, and what I'm about to tell you might be impossible to believe. But I swear, every word is true. My days looked the same for years. I woke up at dawn in a wooden cabin, ran chores on the farm, feeding chickens, mucking out stalls, helped Aunt Molly with lessons in the community hall, then snuck off into the woods with my friend Sally. She was more than a friend, maybe the only thing. Adults said it was dangerous, but that only made me more curious. Every week, supply flyers would arrive, as if from nowhere. Mechanical aircraft carrying medicine, food, books. These machines kept us alive, but I never understood who sent them or why. One day, everything changed. 3 flyers came in instead of 2. One carried someone, a man I'd never seen. He was scarred, walking with a limp, eyes dark and tired. When Aunt Molly greeted him, he barely nodded. He said his name was Cain, and that they had sent him. No further explanation. Sally whispered to me later, "Why did they send him here, Daniel? What's his story?" I didn't know, but from the way the adults spoke around him, there was fear and something dangerous.
I watched Cain struggle. On his first morning, he tried to work, but he snapped. He attacked a boy, Saul, and punched him mercilessly. I was hidden behind tools, watching in horror as blood spurted and Cain's eyes went wild.
Then, in a blur, two flyers swooped in. One shot darts. The other grabbed Cain's limp body and dragged him away into the sky. It felt unreal. The adults acted like nothing happened afterward, like it was routine. But it wasn't. I knew something was terribly wrong. The next day, Sally and I went into the forest, trying to forget. Rufus, her dog, ran ahead, barking. Then Sally screamed. I found Cain, hanging from a tree, his face purple, his body swaying. It looked like suicide, but something about the way he died didn't feel right. Sally was distraught. We ran back, told the adults. Cain's body was taken by a flyer soon after, like a medical pickup, but no one asked any questions. My father told me Cain had taken his own life. He said Cain's past was violent. That was all. But I wondered, was he telling the truth? That night, I couldn't sleep. I looked over at Sally. She was pale, but angry. She grabbed my hand. We need to leave, she said. There's something they're hiding, and we deserve to know. We planned in secret. We took wood, rope, books from our hidden stash in the library. We built a raft. One moonlit lake evening, we pushed off. The water was calm, eerily clear. I felt a mix of fear and exhilaration. For the first time, I felt like we had a future outside their control. We paddled. A raft carried us steadily, but I noticed something strange. The shore ahead looked off, like a painted backdrop. When I poked with the oar, I hit something solid, a glass wall, a barrier. My mind screamed, this isn't a real shoreline. The illusion flickered, and the shore disappeared, replaced by darkness, a deep abyss of water. Then I saw them. Shadows, shapes beneath the glass, swimming just beyond our boat. Creatures unlike anything I'd read in books. Huge, squid-like beasts with long tentacles and glowing fluorescent skin. Their eyes, enormous, white, intelligent, watched us. Sally screamed. She tumbled off the raft into the water, and panic consumed me. I pulled her back, but before we could react, the flyers came again. They appeared without warning. Two grabber types and an attack drone. The drone fired darts, first at Sally, then at me. She went limp. I was hit too. My vision blurred and my body grew heavy. I felt myself fall into the lake, into darkness, like I was drowning, and I accepted it. I thought it was over, but I woke up in my bed, back home. My chest was bandaged where the darts hit. My father was there. He told me Sally was okay, rescued by the flyers, just out cold. He said something that broke me. This is all a zoo. Our world, he said, is inside one of their ships, a massive alien vessel cruising in space. That lake, your sky, the grass, it's all manufactured. The creatures I saw, they are not monsters, my father whispered. They are the ones who brought us here. Our benefactors, or our owners. His eyes held sorrow. His voice was steady, but everything inside me trembled. The next morning, Sally and I met by the water's edge again. We threw away our supplement pills, ones given by the adults to keep people calm. We refused to take them again. And then, for the first time, I kissed her. It wasn't just love. It was defiance. We held hands and stared at that fake horizon, the painted sunset. My heart raced and fear came creeping back. Are they watching us? Did they see what we did? We were no longer their innocent children. We had seen the truth.
So here it is, my confession.
If you're listening, if you've ever felt trapped, remember this. Sometimes the barrier isn't outside you. Sometimes it's in the reflection. If you ever look through a window and feel like the world on the other side is too calm, too perfect, beware, because you might already be on the inside. And if you ever hear whispers coming from the water, don't step closer. Don't trust the glass, because the watchers on the other side, they're not just watching, they're waiting.